Today is September 11th, 2019. Of course, we remember, 9/11 and all that tragedy. But here I am in the Secret Faith Garden. I'm actually on the secret side at the moment. But look, that's a pretty good sized pumpkin there. I don't see another one out over here. So there's one pumpkin. And there might be some hidden in here, but I don't think so. But look, pokeberries. Now I'm at war with those. We don't want those. I know of no good use for them. Here's another pumpkin. There's number 2. And I don't see any in here. Here, let me see if I can hop through here. But look at the leaves on these pumpkin. That doesn't look good. There seems to be a, what is that, a fungus growing on them? I'm trying to walk through here carefully. So I can see 2 pumpkins. Now you can see both of these pumpkins now in here real easily. This is, you see that one back in there? And then now this one, you can see that leaf has died that was blocking it. So those are 2 big pumpkins. And this is the 100% Faith Garden in here. We're looking around. So there's 2 that I can see. I don't see any watermelon, but I see a lot of watermelon vine. Seems so late in the year, but we'll see if anything happens with it. I don't see a pumpkin. Oh, there's one. You see him? There's a little bitty one. So that's 3 and then here's 4. We can always find that one. There's 4. And then there's 5 right here. 5. And then 6, 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pumpkins. So I can find 7 pumpkins, it looks like. Now I used to have one right there, but it disappeared. So I don't know what to make of that. Okay, this is how things are looking back here. So last week, right here, I had such a colony of squash bugs right on these leaves. I came back out with a 1/4 cup of soap in a gallon of water, and I sprayed it until I got pretty good victory. I'm not saying I got all of the squash bugs, but I came out a few times and killed them. So that works like a charm. That's a 1/4 cup of dish soap in a gallon of water, and if you have a squirt bottle. So you can see that the butternut squash, now that's starting to turn. I could probably pick it now. I know they're supposed to turn brown before you pick them, but nothing's been happening on these last few weeks in terms of getting bigger or anything. You see these 2? Same difference. I keep waiting for them to turn. But look, you can see that the vine itself is getting longer. But back here, you can see the leaves have died out. So that's interesting. So the initial leaves are dying, but the rest. Now you can see that these, I think these are garlic onions, but you can see they've gone to flower. Now I got those from my sister-in-law. And I was hoping that they would expand, but they don't seem to have taken over much territory. So I haven't picked any of them because I want more. Now most of the garden, as you can see, look, those cucumbers are looking pretty much gone, the vines. Now I have left this one cucumber right here. You see it hanging? I'm hoping to get seeds out of it. And I've left a couple of cucumbers over there. I should actually pick them. We'll see. Now the basil, I did pick a couple of these peppers. And you can see the tomatoes are still coming on. Now I'll get tomatoes up until it freezes. Look. Tomatoes, tomatoes. So, and this is the backyard. The front yard is full. In fact, I've had so many tomatoes of late that I've struggled to keep them from going bad on me. I give them away, and I've made vegetable soup, gallons of it. I've got at least 2 gallons of vegetable soup in the fridge right now. And I put my green beans in it. Well, they're pole beans. But I put my beans in it, and I have some potatoes from the garden. I've got a web. And I put all that stuff in it. I put my peppers in it. Now, the basil, you can see I got some beautiful basil. The basil does great in soups, of course. And I put lots of basil in it. But I don't think basil and pickles, I don't think that's a good combination. It gives it a funny flavor, I think. So I'm stopped adding basil to my pickles. Of course, I could be wrong. I mean, I really haven't tasted all of my pickles yet to know all the flavors. And I'm going to do a separate video on just recommendations on pickling, or at least where I'm at on it. Look at this guy. You see that? So I'll get a few pole beans every day from back here and a few from the front. So I keep getting more and more. And the okra right now is coming in strong here. We're pretty much done back here. You can see the mint's the only thing that's really doing much in here. And I love this mint. And I saved the mint for my tea. And look. So this is how these are cucumber vines. And it seems to be mostly the time of year, I think. I don't think it's squash bugs really that took it out, but I could be wrong. But I think it's the time of year that's taking out my cucumbers. It's getting a little bit cool at night and they're not doing good. Look at this. I think this is from bird seed. I let it grow up. I think that's, it looks like, is that barley? I think that's the correct one. So I have a cucumber. See, it's the end of the year for these vines. Itty bitty, not much to do with it. So the okra in the front yard is really doing very well. It took all summer for it to get going, but look at this. Now every day I come out, pretty much every day, I come out and pick okra because you don't want it to get too big. And you wouldn't believe it, but I did come out yesterday and pick okra. But look how big that one is. That one's definitely ready to be picked. So the okra is doing fantastic. Here, let me walk around this side. So you can see how tall it is. I have to bend the okra over to pick it. So, and I'll come out later and do that. I didn't bring a bucket with me at the moment. Now, this garlic here is starting to come up. Can you see that? Or is it too sunny? So I'll let this go all, this is the first garlic bed I put down. And I may have planted things pretty close in here because I thought a lot of it was dead, dried. I mean, the garlic. But I went ahead and planted it. I planted everything I had. And now what's amazing is that this watermelon vine, look, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick this watermelon today. It's been, I mean, forever I've been wanting to pick it. And you can see how this is getting dry finally. And it looks so tight in there. But look on this other side here. Now I put this in this little hammock yesterday. But look, that little watermelon is really taken off. So maybe I'll get other, and how you like this? So I've got flowers on this watermelon vine, and looky here, can you see that? At least 2 more watermelon coming on. And the peas here on the ground, they're alive. They don't seem to be springing up. But the okra, wow, look at that. And those flowers on the okra are so beautiful. So the okra, I finally opened one of my cans of pickled okra. Oh boy, it was so good. So I'm at a quandary. I've only had one fixin' of fried okra, and I love fried okra. But the pickled okra was so good. So if I don't get around to frying it up, I'm going to pickle it. And I also put a lot of okra in my soups, whatever okra I had on hand, because you want to use it pretty quick. And I'm getting a lot of okra now. You know, now this was another cucumber that I thought I would leave and let it go, but look, the vine is already dead. So I don't know if it's growing anymore, but I wanted it to grow yellow and old. You're supposed to leave them on the vine until they turn yellow and soft. Actually, the guy was telling me that when they're soft, that's when they're actually ripe. Can you believe it? But that's when the seeds are ripe. And I've done terrible over the year collecting cucumber seeds. But what you do is you leave them longer. Not just turning yellow on the vine, but turning soft and yellow. And that was been my big mistake, is that once they turned yellow, I thought, oh, I can get the seeds now. Wrong. So you can see how these vines, look at this though. I've got flowers all over these cucumbers. I've got dead vines and then fresh vines. So I'm wondering if I'll get more cucumbers. And if I do, what do I mean, I've literally got gallons and gallons of pickles made. And they're so good. Look at this. Now, if you remember, there was a little watermelon here, and I picked it, and I've got it inside. It was turning brown. But look, there's a watermelon, and there's a watermelon, and there. So far out of this bed, most of my watermelon have gone rotten. But I picked one, and we'll see what happens. And we'll see if these 3 make it, not having the ends. Now that's a rotten cantaloupe. So you can see most of this is died back. Those were cucumbers in there. But the pole beans are, right now, they're putting off quite a bit of beans. And you can see some flowers. So they're still flowering. And until it gets cold, I'll get pole beans up until the end. So that's how I'm going to leave them. And the same with tomatoes. In fact, I've been overwhelmed by tomatoes this last week. And even now, if I look close, there's probably tomatoes in there ready to be picked. I don't want to pick them. I didn't pick them yesterday. I kind of ignored them. And that's because I've been overwhelmed with what will I do with them. In fact, I've got some inside I'm going to give away. Okay, this is how the things are looking. So this is another garlic bed. I had found garlic growing in here that I hadn't picked up, so I spread them out. So this is mostly garlic in here. And here, let's go through the tunnel. I forgot to mention that garlic bed there. Oh, look how it's popped up. Wow. In the shade, back here in the shade. That's really taken off there. So this is a garlic bed, and I've got one more. Of course, I had that one over there I showed you earlier, and then I showed you these watermelon one. I love watermelon. And here, let me out of here. And again, I've left a cucumber hanging right here. And that looks like a live vine, but I'm wanting to get seeds from it. I love those. I think that's a burpless cucumber. See how things are going in here. I still got the nasturtium. I love those. Look at how pretty that is. That's a perennial, comes back every year. Looks like these guys need water pretty bad. These are peppers mostly. But looky here. This is a garlic bed. And I've got two flowers. What are they? Marigolds. But this is now planted with garlic. Like I said, I found garlic growing, and I came out here and planted it. I had some cloves that came back on. Look at this guy. I got a little... This guy's ready to be picked. You see that? You see how red these are? Oh, I need to clip it off. It's not wanting to come off. And then there's another one in there. So those are little peppers. They're not hot. These are very sweet peppers. And you can see, like I was saying, if I start looking for tomatoes, I'll have, I'll have 50 tomatoes, 30 tomatoes picked in no time. Once I look behind those leaves, I'll find more and more. So you can see some of the vines are dying, but I'm still getting tomatoes. And what's flowering here? Now these flowers are actually a cantaloupe. I don't know if I'll get any more cantaloupe. And I don't see, yes I do see, look. You see that? Those are tomato flowers. So these plants keep flowering. So this, I think, will be the third batch of tomatoes if they come on. And who knows? I'm not sure what I'll do with all those tomatoes. I need to have more friends.